Kia ora and welcome to today's Light to Lunch episode. My name is Hayden Blucher and I'm the engagement lead here at the Building Institute Aotearoa. And it's a pleasure to be joined today by Richard Clark and Sam Henderson, who are two of our Southern Region Committee members. Welcome both.
Thank you.
I'll just get you to quickly introduce yourselves first. So Richard, can we start with you?
Richard Clark's my name. I'm a senior consultant project manager for construction management here in Christchurch. We primarily deal in the commercial sector and high-end residential builds. Sorry about the voice. I'm just a bit groggy at the moment, still recovering. I've been in the industry now coming up 17 years. I started out pretty young, straight out of high school, went to a building apprenticeship and kind of followed the natural path of progression, apprentice, builder, all that usual stuff through the ranks. And I made the call about 3 years ago to jump over to the consultant side and haven't looked back. It's been great.
Awesome. Cool. And how about yourself, Sam?
Yeah, hi. So Sam, I've just joined the Southern Committee based down here in Christchurch. I'm a BIM manager, self-employed. I have my own consultancy called Coorderly. Been in the industry for 12, 13 years. Originally studied mechanical engineering and then found myself working in structural engineering. Sort of cut my teeth there for the first 8 years in the consultancy, and then decided to move more into a digital role and worked for an independent BIM management company for about 3 years before starting my own business. That's a little bit about me.
Cool. So the format of today is we'll run through 4 questions. Keen to have a good chat with you both. So first up is, firstly about us. What enticed you to be a member of the Building Institute, and more recently for both of you join the Southern Committee?
I'll start off there. So around about maybe 10 or 11 years ago, I first heard about the Institute through a building company I was working for. And I had this whole thing in my mind, it must be this very elusive, super elitist kind of thing. And like as time went on, I started to understand a bit more about it. And started connecting a few dots. And in 2021, I became a member, and since then I haven't looked back. It's been great. The big thing for me is like the professional alignment and networking. We're very lucky to have some of the greatest minds in the industry in Canterbury. Don't mean to brag too much, but we're pretty good down here. And it's one of those things, being able to interact with other consultants and other people in the industry without a contract or a commercial obligation between us. It's something that doesn't happen very often, and it's really nice to be able to capitalise on that where we can. And like I've joined the committee kind of as a natural next step in my career progression. That's one of those things I was a bit on the fence about it at first, but I'm very passionate about the industry, and I see it as a great way to kind of express my interests and my enthusiasm in a greater way.
Awesome. Yeah, great answer. And Sam?
Yeah, look, pretty similar, to be honest. I've been coming along to the Institute's events and consuming the content that the Institute creates for quite a while now. And for me, it was I just wanted to get involved and be a part of it and give back a little bit as well. So, just help run some events and whatnot. And also stay connected with the industry. It's a good way, I guess, if you're starting out your own business, it can be quite easy to sort of get tunnel vision on your own sort of projects so for me it's just a way to, I guess, plug into the industry, stay connected with other people out there, be abreast of what's happening, what projects are going on, that kind of thing.
Just going back to a comment you made before, Richard, that perception, I guess, when you first knew about the Institute possibly being, elitist or something like that, how quickly did you realise, or how quickly did your perception on that change?
It took about a year to kind of understand it, because 10 years ago, the Institute wasn't pretty big online or anything like that. As after chatting to more people in the industry, I started to understand kind of what it stood for and what people were doing, that sort of thing. And from there, I just kind of worked my way in.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, just interested, for anyone listening that might be considering joining, knowing that obviously it is a place where lots of people can join and will be welcomed in. So, next question is a little bit about the work that you do. So what's currently something that you're excited about within your work? It could be a project or, a launch or something that you're working on at the moment.
So I've got some pretty cool projects on the books at the moment, but obviously a real standout one for me So I've got a large cold store development down in Rolleston at the moment. So that's going to be one of the largest automated cold store facilities in the world when it's fully commissioned. And it's been fascinating going through the design process leading up to this. I've had a crash course in like refrigeration engineering and international procurement, that kind of stuff. As an education I never thought I'd have, but it's been fantastic going through this. And I'm really stoked to see this starting to come together. Like, I'm very fortunate to be working with a great team of consultants, and we have an excellent main contractor on board. Hawkins have been great down there on site. Everyone's working as a great team. We're doing some really good things down there.
Awesome. And what about yourself, Sam?
Yeah, lots actually. Lots of exciting things happening at the moment. But a couple that come to mind. This past couple of weeks, I've been doing a lessons learned exercise on a project that I'm just finishing up my role on. So I've spent the better part of the last 2 years as an independent BIM manager on a Ministry of Education project, a school up in Taupo. And as part of that scope of work, when my roles sort of come to an end, we agreed to do a lessons learned. So I've been interviewing key people from the design team over the past couple of weeks, and really just trying to draw out some learnings and understand how the independent BIM management role shaped the project, and what benefits came with that. And it's been really quite enlightening and quite gratifying, really. It's often hard to there's a bit of feedback coming through there. It's often hard to sometimes put a value on BIM management, because it's how do you put a price on the problems that you never had a lot of the time. So being able to draw on real project experience and getting the values out of that will be really nice to share with the ministry and actually maybe the wider industry as well. So it's been quite exciting for me.
Is this the first time you've done, a lessons learned to this extent on a project?
It is, yeah. It is, yeah. Specifically for this use case, it is. And so, it's been really interesting.
Cool. And then the next question's around, your balance, keeping a balance between, bit of mental health and well-being. And I know this is something that we've talked a little bit about before, Richard. So how do you personally balance, mental health and well-being with a busy day job?
Yeah, it's a big one there, because in this industry, obviously there's a lot of conflict that can arise. As soon as there's money and contracts involved in some of these conversations, things can get pretty hostile. And it's being able to shut the laptop at the end of the day and be able to go home and have a clean state of mind. Like, one of my favorite things to do is just love spending time with my family. I've got a young daughter. She's 2.5, and she's just absolute chaos and keeps me on my toes. And it's surprising how much of a great stress relief is just hanging out with your family. Aside from that, I do a lot of long distance motorcycling, and it's really nice to be able to jump on a motorbike and go for a 7-hour bike ride to Blenheim and take off somewhere else and come back down to Christchurch and keep going. It's just a great stress relief. So that's definitely one of my things I'm progressively working on as well, is just further stress management, because there's a lot going on sometimes.
Yeah, nice. And Sam?
Yeah, probably for me, it's there's two main things. Exercise is a big one, and I like to try and fit that in during the day if I can, to break the day up, just get away from the screen. The hardest part is like putting the shoes on, but once I'm there, it's all good. So taking that step back from the work and going out, getting some exercise, getting some fresh air, always helps me. But then also trying to be quite disciplined about work-life balance, so making sure that I'm actually switching off at night and spending time with the family, and which can be hard sometimes, especially when you're starting your own business. It can be quite consuming, and also working from home. It's also quite tempting to open the laptop and just do a couple of bits and pieces. But so got to be quite mindful about switching off, and they're the two main ones for me.
It's always hard when the client emails is linked to your phone, so you can be sitting down watching Netflix 9:30 on a Friday, and clients had a couple of wines and wants to get in contact. It's a wee bit tricky to navigate.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's the thing, with everything being so accessible these days, it's, hard to really tune out, as you both said, and, keep a bit of a distance from work.
Yeah.
I'll do a little plug for our conference that we've got coming up in Christchurch and on the 26th of March next year. Build up, there'll be a whole session dedicated to, people and some of that's, working through, how to manage teams and, how to look after yourself as a person and strategies around that. So it should be interesting. And then moving to the final question, which is about, people that have been influential for your careers to date. So can you tell us about a person, or people that have been influential, and what is it specifically about them?
Well, for me, it's really hard to pinpoint one specific individual. There's so many people out there. I consider myself very lucky to have worked alongside. Probably starting off in the industry, I'm the youngest of 3 builders in my family, and there's always been always permanent competition between myself and my older brothers, and that's actually been a massive career driver. My oldest brother, he's a project manager for another consulting firm, and him and I are perpetually in this race trying to out project manage each other. And it's been really neat, but also just giving a bit of a shout out to Brendan Keenan at Naylor Love. He's a senior project manager there. That guy sets the absolute golden standard as to how projects should be run and delivered. Great client interaction, great people management. He really sets a very high bar as to how a project should be executed, and there should be more people like him in the industry.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Good shout out. And Sam?
Yeah, I find it hard to pinpoint one person. But look, for me, I think I've always tried to surround myself with people that inspire me, and always, I've always been keen to learn and develop, and to do that, it's about, I guess, identifying those people around you in that moment, whether it's in the company that you're working for, or the clients you're interacting with, just really learning. And I've always done that. Personally, my partner, I mean, she's doing amazing things in her career, and she's super driven, and that, in turn, rubs off on me as well, right? That saying, you are, what is that saying? You are sort of a God,
I know what you're trying to say, yeah.
You are the people that surround you. They all rub off on you. And so I've always believed in that, and have always tried to put myself in the room with people that inspire me. So,
Yeah, and I mean, when you talk about your partner as well, I mean, starting a new business is always hard and time-consuming. So I imagine there's many hours that you have to put towards your business, which might kind of fall into your personal life a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's inevitable. It's inevitable, and so having that support is everything. It's really important.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's us for today. Thank you both for being a part of it, and thank you for both being on the Southern Committee here at the Institute. It's great to have your support with all the things that we do. Thank you for listening, for anyone that tunes in for the whole episode, and we'll be back for another one in a couple of weeks. So thank you very much once again. See you later.
Thanks, Ed.